Sunday saw the Eagles offense get vertical again. After starting the year stretching the field vertically, in weeks 4 through 6, the offense went horizontal and Jalen Hurts had the lowest average depth of target in the league. Coming out of the bye, they responded, they made some adjustments, and they got back to attacking vertically. Jalen Hurts threw 4 touchdown passes of over 25 yards against the Steelers, which was one shy of tying Dan Marino's single-game record for 25-plus yard passing touchdowns. How did the Eagles do it? Let's look at 4 touchdown passes and 1 almost touchdown pass. This first one, the Eagles are going to block 7, and they're going to run a dagger concept. And so A.J. Brown is going to run this clear-out route, and Devonta Smith is going to run the deep in route. Now, the purpose of this is to vacate this area over the middle of the field for Devonta Smith. A.J. Brown's not in this progression. He's simply a runoff route. And so the Steelers are going to be in cover 3, and we're going to see the Eagles block 7 with a running back releasing into the flat. And we can roll the tape here. You see the clear out route. It works. We've got people running vertically with A.J. Brown. Look at this void over the middle of the field. The safety has to respect the vertical route. It's open. The dagger concept has worked. Devonta Smith is wide open, and yet Jalen Hurts is going to choose to take this deep shot to A.J. Brown. This is absolutely not the right throw, and yet it works. And it works because A.J. Brown's a great receiver. Jalen Hurts does put the ball right where it needs to be if you were going to make this throw. Now, just notably, you don't want to make that throw. If this was like the 3rd or the 4th one, you would think this was just a heat check to Devontae or to A.J. Brown, but it's not. This is the first one of the game. And although it wasn't the correct read, it did set the tone for the rest of the game in what the Eagles were going to do. So let's look at the second one. This time, the Steelers are going to be in cover 1 man. So we've got 1 deep safety. We've got man coverage across the board. The Eagles are going to block 7 guys. Again, Dallas Goedert is going to block. Miles Sanders is going to block. You see that there are 7 possible blitzers here. And so the Eagles account for them. 7 guys blocking 7. And then the Eagles are just going to run vertical routes. It's going to be vertical routes from every receiver. And against single high, we're going to let it fly. And we're going to hit A.J. Brown for yet another touchdown. And so Hurts hits the top of his drop. That's beautiful sequencing. Hits the top of his drop, and the ball is out. Just sets his feet clean, ball's out. We'll see this better from the backside. Great ball placement to A.J. Brown. If we look at it from the back view, what we're going to see here, this is this double A-gap mug look. We've got a linebacker in each of the A-gaps. Jason Kelce can only block one of these guys. So what's going to happen is the line will slide to the right in their blocking. That means Gainwell comes to the left and is responsible here. We block it up this way. Dallas Goedert is responsible for number 34 if he comes. Since he doesn't come, Goddard's just going to step into the B gap and he's going to help Landon Dickerson. And so we can see the protection is smooth. Again, the drop, the set his feet, and the ball's out. Just perfect ball placement from Jalen Hurts. Now, following this, the Eagles went really dink and dunk, and I even pointed it out right before the next play that it was time. They were lulling the Steelers to sleep, and then it was time to go over the top again. I tweeted that right before this play happened. So the Eagles come out in a 3-by-1 set. Really, it's 4-by-1 if we've got Miles Sanders here, but they're going to fake the bubble screen, and both of the receivers are just going to sort of jog out like they're going to block, and then Brown hits the deep ball. Smith is going to hit the post. This is a quarter half look for the defense. And so this guy's responsible for the flat. He's the quarter flat. He's responsible for number 2 vertical, number 1 vertical. So this is going to be a one-on-one for A.J. Brown. And because of the threat of the play fake here, the jog out, and then boom, go. We get the defender to hesitate up. He hesitates. He takes a step forward because A.J. Brown just sort of jogging. He stops, and now he's by him. Jalen Hurts lays the ball in at the pylon again. Just another great throw. This is really hard footwork for the quarterback. If you watch his footwork here, he's going to have to fake the screen to the right and then get his body to aligned to the correct target. This is a hard sequence for a quarterback. Now, he does drift to the right. If you look where he's starting right here on the hash, and if you look where he ends up on this throw, he is going to end up outside the hash, and we don't really want that. He does invite pressure by moving to the right on the fake, and so Lane Johnson does sort of surrender a pressure here. He's got to make the throw with Lane Johnson in his lap, and it's because he does drift right. So you would rather see him set his feet back after this screen, right on the numbers, bouncing back inside here. But hard footwork, really good execution, clean throw with pressure in his pocket to A.J. Brown, who of course gets the penalty for his celebration. Now let's look at another one. This is again cover one man. So again, we've got one safety high, we've got man coverage everywhere else. Dallas Goedert is lined up outside. Zach Pascal is lined up inside. Zach Pascal is almost exclusively used as a blocker when he is in the slot. And so the Eagles, at the snap of the ball, Pascal is going to come out like he's blocking Goddard's guy. Goddard's going to come in and we're going to run a screen, and the Eagles have run this a lot, right? And so the defense is going to bite down on this. Both guys are going to commit on Goddard, except it's not a screen. It's a fake screen wheel route. And this is just an easy pitch and catch for Jalen Hurts. And so we can see the execution here. Fake screen, wheel, easy catch and throw, and then good job by Zach Pascal to get to the pylon into the end zone. If we watch from the back view, if you watch Isaac Seumalo here, Isaac Seumalo gives up an inside pressure, which is not something you want here. This ball is going to come out quick. We just need Seumalo to stonewall this guy or push him to the outside, push him to the longer path to the quarterback. This is not a long progression. The ball's going to be out, but he gives up inside pressure, but Hurts is still able to make the throw with pressure bearing down, and it's a big play for a touchdown. So good execution there from the offense, minus is Isaac Seumalo, who did have a little bit of a rough day giving up 3 pressures. So now let's go to the last play. This is the almost touchdown to A.J. Brown. This could have been the one that tied Dan Marino's record. We're going to have a quarters look from the defense again. So he's responsible for number 1 vertical. He's responsible for number 2 vertical. And this is going to be another sort of dagger type route. We're going to have a vertical and we're going to have a deep in route. And just watch what happens here. Hurts is going to see his progression. He drops back here. The Eagles blocking 7 again. He sees it's one-on-one coverage. He's just going to throw the ball back to A.J. Brown. And this time it's broken up by the defensive back, but it was perfect ball placement by Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown easily could have come down with that one for a score if it wasn't broken up. Now let's look at the protection. This is going to be a slide protection to the right. And so we're going to kick out wide, blocking. We're going to get a double team right here and a tight end double team on the backside off of this play fake. You will notice Hurts fades a little bit to the right as he drops back again. Notice he's aligned right here to the left of the hashes. As he drops back off of the play fake, he does sort of fade to the right. It's not a big deal, but he does put himself a little closer to that right side edge, which is where we know the pressure is coming from. It's where we know we're sliding to. You're more susceptible to pressure off of this edge than you are with 2 double teams. So if you're going to fade a direction, you would like to fade left a little bit here, but he drifts right just a little. He does a good job at stepping up here away from the pressure. Unfortunately, even if this had been completed, it would have come back due to a holding. They get Lane Johnson on a hold there. But it's a beautiful pass. Jalen Hurts had a great game throwing the ball downfield. Here's a look at his passing chart. He had an average depth of target of 11 yards, which would rank second in the NFL looking at the season as a whole. He had a time to throw of 2.68 seconds, so he was throwing the ball downfield and still getting it out with above average speed. And he had a completion percentage over expectation of plus 6.6%. It was really good to see the Eagles dial up some answers to the blitz. They countered the blitz almost exclusively horizontally prior to the bye. It was great to see a vertical element back in their passing game, even in the face of